What's up, guys? It's Hbox here, filming from a hotel room, as you can see here. But I wanted to go over and talk about what's going on with Mikey. Now, as you might have been able to tell, Mikey in Nick All-Stars is pretty evidently the best character in the game right now because of an exploit which was discovered using his light aerial attack, the little neutral air nunchuck swing, whatever you want to call it. But basically, it boils down to this. If you are able to land a grab or some kind of any move that puts your opponent in the air and Mikey hits you with his nunchuck, you don't fall down at a usual speed or an angle that most aerials send you at. Instead, actually, you fall at what appears to be a sort of floating trajectory. And if you hit them again with the same nunchuck, they continue to fall in that trajectory. And they're moving so slowly and still in stun, they're able to grab them, throw them upwards, and do it again over and over. So it's like a chain grab that goes off the stage. And once they're off the stage, Mike is able to just hit you with that same move 4 times and then cargo throw you off the side for a guaranteed death on every character. And it's inescapable if you do it properly. So it's a pretty big deal for that to be a thing in the game. Now, of course, the devs have already spoken on this, and they said they're going to patch it out. And they're going to patch it out real quick and do that, without thinking about it twice. Question, of course, is when is the patch coming? I think people aren't really too sure about that. But what we do know for the fact now is that Michelangelo has become essentially the quickest character in a modern fighting game to ever just be banned outright with this exploit. When you make new games and new platform fighters, there's always going to be a chance that a character has an infinite that you didn't intend, and next thing you know, they have it, and there's not much you can do about it until a patch happens. And most of the time, it's not the case. But with so many players in the scene for Nick All-Stars and so many people trying to figure out ways to discover how to break the game, eventually it was going to happen. And so the first one that we found with Mikey, we already now have SmashCon of all tournaments announcing in their rule set that Michelangelo is banned. And a big reason they're doing that is because they're not playing on the PC version. So even if there was going to be a patch that was going to be soon, the Switch version, which is what they're playing on, probably wouldn't receive the update at the same time. So the only way to really fix all of that is to ban Michelangelo outright. Issue is, though, I think if they're using switches, that means other exploits in the game, like the tech windows and the jab traps. I'm not fully certain if those are fixed yet, but it might be a really big issue. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is this important? This is important because there's $10,000 on the line. And if there's $10,000 on the line, I think the last thing you want is some Ninja Turtle deciding he can just ruin your entire day by doing it infinite across with you the entire stage over and over, with you not having any chance to make that happen. So with all that being said, I don't think there's going to be much of a question that Michelangelo will now not win that tournament. There's going to be no exploits there, but I'm pretty sure other people who learn the other exploits that are still in the game, someone's probably going to take advantage of that and win. And as we saw in the juice box on Wednesday, there's still players who are almost able to cope with all that, no matter how broken it was. Players like Fumbling, I think, got top 16, but players like Fullstream, who got 3rd place, Thunder's Rain got 4th, Mewtwo King got 5th. They went on good runs, but essentially the 2 top Mikeys who were able to just use that chain grab perfectly, they were able to just completely dominate the competition, being Husky and I think Weeger, Weger is how it's pronounced. 2 players who didn't even make a dent in bracket really in the first juice box and now just destroyed everyone else. So glad that the devs are handling it, and I'm glad they're doing this. And now, of course, SmashCon put out the official rule set they're going to be using for Nick All-Stars. And one of the things I also went on at the end of the tournament was that these sorts of things happen, and they shouldn't be seen as the entirety of a game's meta or what it is. These are just things in the game that were left in, they weren't intended, and they're going to be taken out, and the game is going to be polished. Some big things that I want to see in the game fixed and patched up, I guess my personal wish list. Definitely get rid of the infinites, maybe nerf in general a lot of the nairs you can do over and over, like Aang's as well. I think that when you start that chain, the fact that you can't do anything about it or get out of it is pretty pretty brutal. I think Lucy's jump scare is pretty strong also. I think I should buff Nigel Rest, or Nigel Flick rather, because I'm greedy and that's what I want. And most importantly, before any of those, what I really want to see fixed is the online lobby system. There is a way, there is a way to implement a room ID, and it works maybe legitimately 10% of the time. Almost all other times, it simply doesn't work. I don't know why. It might just be a problem with the game's programming, but it doesn't work a general amount of the time, at least on PC. I'm not sure if that's the case with Switch and PS4 or console games or console systems, but like on the PC, it's definitely a huge thing. And the reason is when I'm trying to run a tournament or stream online, any random person can see your public lobby, jump into it, and play you instead. It's a huge time loss for events that need to be run. It happens constantly, especially if any normal player is streaming or playing, and it's just a headache to have to scroll through that entire public lobby system and try to find someone you're playing against. And the game is already where it is. Imagine if it was like a giant, huge game. Imagine trying to do it in Smash, scrolling through thousands of public lobbies and the game is big or when DLC drops, attempting to find your opponent. It just wouldn't be the case. So I guess the cleanest way to connect to your opponent is through the Steam system, through the Steam lobby. But even there, it's just like an extra hassle to add someone, go for the invite, do all that. It should just be one code, you add it in, all players in the lobby can go in, and it's that simple. And one other thing I also wanted to remark upon was the fact that Thaddeus Cruz did say that DI in general for the game, stronger DI will be implemented, which may or may not help that infinite for Mikey's in particular. But in general, I think they're making sure to get rid of anything which might make the game, completely unfair in certain characters. But in general, good call of SmashCon to ban the character. I think it's still going to be a very interesting tournament to see how things play out. And the offline experience for the game, even though when you do have a good robot connection, it feels very close to offline. I'm still curious to see how far the game is going to be pushed and who's going to be our first offline champion. So, given the juice box results, given everything you've seen, in the comments below, let me know who you think is going to win SmashCon for Nick All-Stars, and let me know what your wish list is for the game, whether it's buffs, patches, nerfs, alternate costumes, whatever you guys might want to imagine. Let me know what your desire is for this game and what they can do to absolutely make it shine, because I think this game, does deserve some time in the spotlight, more so than just the first week of what we've seen. And I would just love to continue seeing members from, Brawlhalla, Slap City, Rivals of Ether, Rush on Revolt, Melee Ultimate PM, all those communities. Just love seeing them push the game to its absolute limit, and hopefully there's no more crazy infinites in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if one more gets discovered, but as we've seen, if it does, it looks like the team's going to jump on it. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and good luck to everyone competing at SmashCon this weekend. I'll see you next time.